You ever watch someone you love walk into a room and realize they've already left? That was Megan, my wife of 7 years. And that was me, standing in the kitchen with a pair of champagne flutes, watching her come through the front door on our anniversary, dressed too nice for work and too distracted to notice I'd set the table. I still remember the moment her eyes skipped past the candles and landed on the envelope I'd left for her beside her plate. She smiled like it meant something. "What's this?" "Open it," I said. Calm. Not because I was, but because rage, real rage, doesn't scream. It simmers. She opened the card. A custom-printed message. Handwritten signature. "To my dearest Megan, thank you for teaching me what love isn't. Your gift is in the bedroom. Just follow the trail." Her smile faltered. But she stood and walked. Each rose petal led her up the stairs. Left, toward the bedroom. Door closed. She opened it and saw herself. Literally. A large canvas print on the bed, her, half naked, tangled up in sheets that weren't ours, with a man I'd never met. Her expression frozen in surprise and lust, framed by the timestamp and hotel logo in the bottom corner. I stood behind her, silent. "Where did you get that?" she whispered. "I didn't get it. I made it," I said. And that was just the beginning. But let's rewind. 2 months earlier, I was clueless. Or pretending to be. 36 years old, working construction management in Raleigh. Simple life. I brought Megan coffee every morning. She said she loved the smell but never finished a cup. We had a golden retriever named Hank. A shared calendar on our phones. Everything seemed steady. Until she started going to Zumba. Megan hated group fitness. Then there was work travel to Atlanta. But her suitcase came back with Carolina Beach sand in the zipper. I didn't confront her. I studied her. Installed a second iCloud tracker on her iPad. Synced it to a hidden email. Quietly read every message, GPS ping, deleted photo. It wasn't just one guy. It was two. One she met on Bumble. The other was her friend's husband. Nice touch, right? They thought they were discreet. Hotels an hour away. Weekend conferences. One even left her a hickey under her ribcage. She told me it was a rash from her sports bra. I smiled and bought her aloe. What they didn't know was that I'd been saving every detail. Because the worst revenge isn't screaming, I know. It's letting them keep going while you sharpen the knife. By the time our anniversary rolled around, I had 2 months' worth of footage, photos, call logs, and location data. But I didn't want to fight. I wanted her to watch herself unravel. That night, after she saw the photo on the bed, she didn't say a word. Just sat down. And then I handed her the flash drive. "What's this?" she asked. "Proof," I said. "Play it when I leave. Or don't. You'll wish you hadn't either way." Then I picked up my go bag, called Hank, and walked out. But I wasn't finished. Because Megan didn't know about the other part of the plan. The part that would make her see that betrayal doesn't echo in arguments. It screams in silence. And what came next? That was the real gift. The silence lasted 3 days. That's how long Megan took to break. 3 days of texts. Voicemails. Emails. One where she titled the subject, "Please don't do anything stupid." As if I hadn't already done something brilliant. She had watched the flash drive. I know because she referenced the Atlanta hotel footage and the screenshot of her sitting half-naked in a red car that belonged to her friend's husband, Dean. Dean. He was the cherry on top. Married 5 years. Megan had been to their baby shower. She held their daughter. And still slept with him. I hadn't told his wife. Yet. See, the beautiful thing about betrayal is that it multiplies. One act creates ripples. And I was about to make her feel every single one. But I didn't scream. I didn't send messages or make a scene. I started leaking. An anonymous Instagram account at The Quiet Husband. Black and white stills. Cropped photos. Just enough detail to feel familiar to her. Just enough ambiguity to keep everyone else guessing. The caption under the first post. "What would you do if your partner kissed you goodnight after sleeping with your neighbor?" Within hours, her friends started texting her. Asking if she was okay. If everything was fine at home. I'd made sure they were tagged in the comments. Quietly. With initials only I knew. By day 5, Megan showed up at my brother's house, where I was staying. She didn't knock. Just walked in, like she still had a key to my world. "Aaron," she said. Her voice was dry. Like truth had burned her throat on the way up. I looked at her. No rage. No pity. Just a calm man standing in the wreckage of a home he no longer had to maintain. She sat down. Hands shaking. "I don't know what to say." "Then don't. You're blowing up my life." I actually laughed. "I'm blowing up your life?" I said. You threw the dynamite. I just lit the match. She started crying. The kind of cry that comes when someone realizes the performance isn't landing. I waited. She pulled herself together. I'll tell Dean's wife. I'll come clean. Just stop. But that wasn't the deal. I'm not here for confessions, Megan. I'm here for accountability. And you're going to feel it the same way I did, slow, sick, and in the dark. Then I handed her a second envelope. She froze. Inside? Copies of her text messages with Dean, printed and collated. Highlighted. With a note on top. For Claire. In case she ever asks why her marriage failed. You wouldn't, she whispered. I haven't, I said. Yet. Because that wasn't the next step. The next step was making sure she felt watched, the same way I did every time she said she was just going to Target and came back with no receipt and wet hair. So I sent her one more message before leaving. Just 3 words. Look behind you. Not because I was actually there, but because I didn't have to be. The truth was already chasing her. People say the worst part of betrayal is the discovery. They're wrong. It's the waiting after, when every second drips slow as honey, and you start to wonder if the person you gutted is sharpening a knife or walking away. I made sure Megan never knew which it was, because paranoia is the perfume of guilt, and I wanted her drowning in it. By the second week, she changed her number, deleted her Facebook, went private on Instagram. She posted a cryptic story that said, "Sometimes people only see what they want to see." It got 4 likes. Meanwhile, I was meeting Claire, Dean's wife, not by accident, at the local dog park, where Hank and their retriever used to play. Casual, friendly, like 2 strangers with the same problem and no idea they were about to detonate together. I didn't lead with anything, just enough breadcrumbs. She's been different lately, I said. More secrets, less eye contact. Claire nodded like it hurt to agree. Then I said, I'm sorry if this feels weird. I just get the sense you've been feeling something similar. She looked at me. Really looked. That was the moment she knew. She didn't ask for proof. She asked for time. I gave her a flash drive too. Meanwhile, Megan thought she was fixing things. I heard she'd started therapy. Good. She needed someone to talk to. Because everyone else was leaving. Her sister blocked her. Her friends stopped answering calls. Even her boss had started scheduling fewer client meetings after a few too many rumors started flying around, anonymous emails, screenshots, and a very detailed timeline of her business trip that coincided with Dean's hotel invoice in Myrtle Beach. I never claimed to be the sender. Didn't have to. Sometimes, just existing in the right places leaves fingerprints. 3 weeks in, she emailed me. Subject line, please stop. The body was short. You're destroying me. I can't sleep. I can't breathe. You win. Please. Enough. I didn't respond. Not because I didn't want to. Because she still didn't understand. I wasn't playing a game. This was her lesson.
Sorry to interrupt your viewing experience. But we really need your support, namely a subscription to the channel, which can make it possible to hire a professional voice actor and make the best content for you.
Actions echo. Lies rot. And some people only learn once everything they touch turns to ash. The following Friday, Claire filed for divorce. Dean showed up at Megan's place the next morning, screaming on the lawn. Cops came. A neighbor filmed it. Sent it to the same account that posted her red car lipstick selfie 6 months earlier. It went mildly viral. Megan didn't go to work that Monday. Didn't go the next day either. I know because Jenna, her old friend, texted me. She's saying she has a stalker. That you're following her. I responded with a single sentence. I've never followed her. I just finally stopped looking away. Because the truth? I wasn't tracking her anymore. I was watching what happened when she had no one left to lie to. I didn't plan on showing up at the courthouse. I'd already filed. Clean, uncontested divorce. No assets to fight over. Everything she cared about was intangible. Her image, her influence, her ability to control perception. But when I heard she planned to make a statement to the judge about emotional harassment, I put on a suit and showed up. Sat 3 rows behind her. Said nothing. Her hands trembled as she stood. Voice fragile, like a cracked windshield. He's been stalking me. Posting things. Destroying my life. The judge looked over his glasses. Do you have evidence of this, ma'am? She hesitated. Blinked. People have said things. I can't prove it, but I know it's him. The courtroom went silent. The judge raised an eyebrow. You're accusing your husband of defamation without proof during your own divorce proceeding? Then he turned to me. Mr. Price, do you have anything to add? I stood. No, Your Honor. I just want peace. And closure. The gavel hit the desk like thunder. Divorce finalized. As I walked past her, Megan didn't look at me. But I paused. Just long enough to lean in and whisper. Peace and closure. That's what I wanted too, until I found out about Myrtle Beach. Her breath caught. Because that moment, that was the last thread. The one thing she never knew I knew. The night she told me she was staying with her cousin. The night Dean booked a room at the Palms Resort, under a rewards account that stupidly shared its points log. I didn't need to scream it in court. Just let her know it wasn't forgotten. And now? Neither was she. I left the courthouse and drove straight to the storage unit I'd rented a month earlier. Inside, all the framed photos, printed messages, hotel receipts, and screenshots. All the wreckage. I burned it, one by one. Not because I forgave her, but because I didn't need the weight anymore. She did. Later that night, I got one final message. You win. I hope you're happy. I didn't reply. Because I wasn't happy. I was free. And that's something she'll never be again. Not truly. Because for the rest of her life, every new person she meets will be a question mark. Every kind gesture, a mirror to what she broke. That's the kind of revenge you don't deliver with fire. You deliver it with memory. Megan moved to Charlotte 2 months after the divorce. New apartment. New therapist. New Instagram handle. But you can't run from the echo. Not when the damage follows you like your own reflection. I didn't track her. Didn't stalk. I didn't have to. She left digital breadcrumbs the way some people shed skin, unconsciously, compulsively. A wellness quote here. A tag location there. A wine glass and frame with a caption like, healing takes time, but I'm stronger now. Strong? She'd been dropped by half her friend group. The other half tolerated her like a cracked wine glass. Still usable, but don't grip it too tight. Dean never resurfaced. Rumor was he left the state. Claire got full custody, the house, and a reputation for dignity Megan could never fake. But this isn't about them. This is about what happened when the silence got too loud. Because one evening in early fall, I got a call. Blocked number. I answered, curious. And there she was, quiet, almost breathless. I know I shouldn't be calling. I didn't respond. She continued. I just wanted to ask, did I ever matter to you? Or was I just some project you dismantled? I waited, then answered. You mattered, Megan. That's why it hurt. And why I didn't stop at forgiveness. She went silent. Then, everyone hates me now. You don't even have to do anything anymore. I didn't correct her. She was right. I hadn't posted anything in months. No leaks. No edits. No new hints. The storm had passed. But she still lived under clouds. Because the genius of real revenge is that it becomes internalized. You stop punishing them. They do it for you. After that call, I deleted her number for good. The next week, I started dating again. Slowly. Intentionally. Not looking to fix anything. Just connect. With someone whose honesty didn't feel like a performance. I told her about Megan early on. Not the details, but the truth. That marriage taught me what happens when you pretend red flags are fireworks. She laughed. Said, that's dark, but fair. We went hiking. We talked late. She never reached for her phone during conversations. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel like I had to check the back door when someone smiled at me. That was healing. Not pretending nothing happened, but knowing you survived it without becoming it. Megan, on the other hand, her posts got rarer, then more frantic. A long blog about personal accountability where she never once used the word sorry. A GoFundMe she launched, claiming she'd been financially devastated by a toxic divorce. It earned $112 and a single comment. Maybe try honesty next time. Ouch. She eventually turned everything private. Again, the final time I saw her name, a suggested connection on LinkedIn. I didn't click. Didn't need to. Because by then, I'd already won the only way that mattered. She could lie to the world, but not to herself. Not anymore. And me? I was already writing the next chapter. Not as a victim, but as the author. I saw her one last time. By accident. It was almost a year to the day since the anniversary that wasn't. I was walking out of a bookstore downtown, a coffee in one hand, dog leash in the other. Hank sniffed something near the curb. And there she was, Megan, sitting alone on a bench across the street. Same hair, same posture, but something different in the eyes. Like someone who'd lost the script. She didn't see me. Or maybe she did and chose not to. Either way, I stood for a moment. Took in the quiet. No dramatics. No final confrontation. Just her. Smaller than I remembered. like shame had hollowed out the parts she used to weaponize. I didn't approach, didn't wave, just turned and walked away. Because that's how stories end sometimes, not with a bang or a scream, but with indifference, with peace. People asked me, later on, if I forgave her. That's the part they don't understand. Forgiveness wasn't the goal. Freedom was. Forgiveness implies I still carried her somewhere inside me, that I was waiting to release myself through some spiritual parole. But I didn't need her sins to shrink so I could move forward. I just needed to stop pretending they didn't weigh something. So I unpacked them, documented them, and then gave them back, wrapped in silence and precision. She still lives with that silence. I know, because every now and then, one of her old friends reaches out, unprompted. She talks about you, they say. She still doesn't get why you didn't scream, didn't hit back. But that was the point. I didn't want to hurt her. I wanted her to see. Because some people only recognize damage when they're looking at their own reflection and find that no one's looking back. No, I've moved on. Not in that hollow, rebound way people pretend to when they're still bleeding. I mean really moved on. New place, new city, new love, even. A woman who doesn't flinch when I speak slowly, who doesn't hide her phone when I reach for the charger. We go to farmers markets. We talk with our hands. We dream without disclaimer. Sometimes I tell her the short version of what happened before her. She listens, holds my hand tighter, and says, "That wasn't love, Aaron. That was performance." She's right. Megan was a stage. This is a home. And when I lay down at night now, I don't replay her betrayals. I think of the man I was, the one who gathered every shattered piece of himself and turned them into something sharp, something elegant. Revenge didn't save me, but it cleared the room, so I could finally build something real, not out of anger, out of clarity. That's the thing no one tells you about justice. It's not about balance. It's about restoration. And I'm restored. Fully. Quietly. Finally.
What do you think of the story? Write in the comments.